Okay, clear off your desk, set other things aside for a moment. We're digging into some psychology today about how to reprogram your subconscious mind. Usually when we think, we think in images or pictures. Notice this. If I ask you to think about your house, do you get a picture? Yeah, you can kind of picture your house, right? Or think about your car, picture. Think about your mind. A little trickier. You don't always get a picture for that. If you do, often the picture is a brain. Your brain and your mind aren't the same thing. In fact, your brain isn't your mind any more than your little finger is your mind. It's part of your body. It's an organ in your head. Now, it's associated with your mind, but when I say mind, I'm really talking about you. I'm talking about the agent in the machine. I'm talking about the observer, the decision maker, the choice element. That's the mind. This picture represents your mind. Maybe we can use that as the picture that we think about as we consider our mind. Now, I heard this from my friend Leslie Householder. She is a best-selling author of The Jackrabbit Factor and Portal to Genius and some other really cool things. You might want to check out Leslie. I've included a link down in the description. Leslie told me that she heard it from Bob Proctor. Bob is an amazing leadership and personal development speaker and coach. And I heard Bob Proctor once say that he loves to brag about his material because none of it's his. So I don't know the original source of this thing, but I can at least trace it back through Leslie to Bob Proctor, and it's a handy image to use when we're talking about the mind. This top part is the conscious. The conscious mind is the part that does the thinking, the part that you're aware of. In fact, conscious means aware. If you're unconscious, you're not aware of anything. The conscious mind is also about language and logic and reason. Okay, these are cognitive functions that we associate with the conscious mind. Now let's go to this part, the subconscious. Now sub means below, like subway, submarine. Conscious means awareness. Subconscious means below awareness. So you're not aware of this stuff. The subconscious is characterized by, instead of thoughts, beliefs. Beliefs are at a much more fundamental level. Instead of logic or reason, it's more about language and templates. The fact that we're speaking English here today on this video, you probably didn't even tune into that. You weren't aware of that. It was below your awareness. You see, it's a subconscious process that drives that. It's more like the operating system or the template or the layout for what's happening in the conscious mind. It's what's driving it, really. So instead of pictures that we might think about in the conscious mind, images in the subconscious. And I don't mean picture images, I mean like self-image. It's more of a gut feel, if you can appreciate that. This is the body, including the brain. It's your body that interacts with the world and creates your results. So it's your hands that touch things and move things around. It's your feet that walk around in this world. As you interact with the world, you create this set of results. Well, that gets fed back into your conscious mind through a series of antennae up here called your senses. So you get to see and smell and touch the results that you created by moving your body around. That's how it comes back into your conscious mind. Here's another useful analogy, and I think it was Leslie that shared this one with me as well. This is the captain. The conscious mind is the captain. This is the crew. The subconscious mind is the crew. This is the ship. So if your body is the ship, who's driving the ship? The captain's in charge. Can we agree on that? But who's driving? Who's moving that ship around? It's the crew! And the crew doesn't have to follow what the captain said. That's the problem. Let's say, for example, that you have a belief in your subconscious mind. We'll represent it with X. Let's say that you believe at a subconscious level X. And it might sound like, I'm so... What came to mind? All right, we're pulling it up to the conscious mind. It's whatever we really feel about ourselves. This is the subconscious X or belief. I'm so lazy. I'm so inadequate. I'm so fat. Whatever, okay? Whatever your X is. What kind of behaviors are we likely to see in the body? Yeah, would you believe X behaviors are going on down here? Yeah, makes sense. What kind of results are X behaviors going to create? X results, big surprise. What kinds of things are we then going to see and smell and hear and touch? Oh, we're going to see a whole lot of X showing up in our life, aren't we? And so that gets into our conscious mind. How do you feel about X? Now, this is a question I want you to spend just a moment on, because the language of the subconscious mind is feeling and emotion and images, okay? How you feel about X matters. And if you have strong feelings about it, it's going to get driven even stronger into the subconscious mind. If you hate it, if you love it, doesn't matter. Subconscious is going to grab onto it even more tightly with any emotion or feeling that's connected to it. This is just how it works. And then we get into a nasty cycle because X becomes stronger in the subconscious, our behaviors, our results. Here we go. So how do we reprogram our subconscious mind? What if you go to the seminar or you watch the YouTube video from Dr. Paul or you read a book or whatever, right? And you get this idea into your conscious mind. An idea is conscious. You get this idea, I'm not X, I'm Y. You've been to the motivational seminar, right? You have potential. And you're like, oh, maybe I can have potential. But you're not really buying it. It's really more of a, oh, I wish, or maybe someday, or if I pay the $1,500 to take this guy's course, then he's promising that I could. Whatever, right? But you're not buying it because at the subconscious level, you're still X. And even though you're carrying this Y thought up here in your conscious mind, it's not installed down here. Now, sometimes you can just white knuckle it, just gut it through for a while and even get yourself to do a few little Y behaviors down here, maybe a few little Y results, but you can't sustain that if X is still implanted in your subconscious mind. It's like the crew is going to toss the captain overboard. How do we get Y down here? To program our subconscious mind, we need to know a little bit about how it operates. Remember, feelings and emotions are huge. I've presented a strategy. It's in the end of my book. Music and your own voice create a whole different effect on your subconscious mind, and it helps to program it. So basically what we're doing, you guys, is taking Y, recording it in our own voice, because of all the voices in your mind, which one is the most believable? Right! You've got enough destructive pride that your own voice is the one you will listen to above all others. Well, let's take advantage of that and use our own voice to voice what Y is. Now, here's the part Anne threw in. She said, record that in your own voice with classical music in the background. And there's certain kinds that work better than others. I like Handel and Mozart, but you pick something that helps to stimulate and activate your brain in a way that it's going to send this down to the subconscious. Powerful process. Here's another one. I had a video recently with Brett Williams, and see that Brett talked about using considerations instead of affirmations. Because sometimes when you tell yourself, no, I'm Y, yeah, your subconscious picks a fight with you and it's like, whatever, you know you're not Y, and it sticks with X. Brett's suggestion in that video is powerful because we're going to come in the back door of our subconscious and present it with a consideration. What if I were Y? I'm not saying I am. What if I were? See, now we're not picking a fight with our subconscious, and we open up the door. It's a powerful tool that you can add to it as well. Can we reprogram our subconscious mind? We can. It's not easy, but once we get Y installed here, then the behaviors and the results will naturally follow that. It's all about getting our mind to work for us and not against us. As you reprogram your subconscious, some neat things are going to happen.